everybody, it's Connie Stewart with SimplySimpleStamping.com. Welcome to another video for Stampin' Gals Gone Wild, September 2014. You know, my theme this month was called Get On Board, and we're going to be using a lot of our different boards that we offer through Stampin' Up. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you how to make this fantastic rosette wreath or lolly wreath. People call them different things. Today it's going to be known as a rosette, and this is all done using Stampin' Up's Simply Scored board. So let's get on with our video and how to make our fantastic fall wreath. All right, now I'm going to be using the Designer Series paper stacks. These are the big 12 by 12s. I'm using Regals because I'm going with a fall theme. And what you're going to want to do is cut a piece 7 by 12. I've cut it down. You can see this one's already been cut. I'm going to bring in my Simply Scored board. And guys, this is a really easy process if you do it all at once versus cutting this into the little pieces. So there's my 12 inches up at the top. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to score every ½ inch. All right, we're going to go down the entire thing every ½ inch. So you don't have to sit here and watch me do this every ½ inch. I'm going to go ahead and flip it over. This is really important. When you flip it over, just flip it over. Don't turn it around or anything. The reason why is, and let me go ahead, I'm now going to score on every inch. But the reason why we don't want to score or we don't want to move that paper, every time you score a line, many times the paper, of course, is going to slowly start to get just a little bit shorter the more you go because you're shrinking that when you're pressing it down. So we're going to pretend that whole thing is done. And I know on camera it is impossible to see that, but we're going to pretend we have now got score lines every ½ inch. And we have mountain folds and we have valley folds, like that. All right, we're now going to take and we're going to cut this down. We're going to cut it down 1½ inches, 1½ inches, and then 2 inches. So basically we're going to go 1½ and 1½, so that's 3. We're going to have 4 inches left over. We're going to cut that in half by 2. All right, so I've got those cut. There's my 1½, there's my 2. I'll go ahead and work with my 2-inch pieces. And what we're going to do, you're going to want to start on one side and just kind of start to accordion fold. You'd be surprised how quickly this will really go. It moves pretty fast. Now, if you're starting to fold and you realize maybe things are going a little wonky, not a problem. Just stop. Make sure everything's kind of getting lined up. You may have kind of hit a score line at just the wrong angle or something. It happens. And listen, you don't throw it away. You haven't messed up anything. So you're going to repeat this all the way. I will tell you, sometimes with this 12 inches, it gets kind of thick. You can just come and kind of start on the other side if that makes it a little easier for you. So there's that one done. We're going to repeat that with the other one. When you go to repeat this other one, I'm noticing there's a little bit I want you to do with the pattern. You notice that this has this, it's a valley right here. So on this one, I don't want it to be a valley. I want it to be a mountain on this side of the pattern. Does that make sense? So I've got a mountain on the end and I have a valley on an end, and these two are going to attach together. So when you go to fold the next one, you're going to basically fold it in the opposite direction that you just did, but the accordion will be the same. Okay, so there's my 2 pieces. Again, you can see, as I was saying, we've got our mountain and valley. Let's go ahead and put these together. I'm going to bring in my silicone mat. Let me tell you, you're going to be using this mat a lot on this project. And what I'd like you to do, these two are going to go together. And so I'm going to put the adhesive here on this outer strip. I'm going to be using some fast fuse. It works great. We are going to be using hot glue a lot, but I really didn't want the bulk of the hot glue there. And whoops. And we're just going to bring that together. I'm making sure the ends are lined up. Don't press anything down till you know you're good. And we're good. So now we can give that a good firm press. We're going to repeat that with the other side. Okay, move my silicone mat here. And you can see we've got this nice little round ring going on. Now, to turn it into a rosette, we're just going to, you can see I'm just pressing towards the center and then pressing, let me try this again, trust me, you can manipulate this quite a bit. You can see where we're going. You're just going to press it down. We want to get it into that shape. Now, if you wanted the paper on the other side, not a problem. You can do that too, just like so. All right, now I had you cut some cardstock, half sheet, 8.5 by 5.5. I want you to cut off 3.5 inches. We're going to set all of those aside, and then we're going to come in with some punches. I've got my 2 3/8 inch, and I think this is going to be a pretty tight fit on here. We're going to punch out 2 of the 2 3/8, 2 scallops of the 1 3/4. Oh, not as tight as I thought it might be. All right. And then we're going to take the 1 1/4 inch scallop, and we need just one of those. All right. So you're going to repeat that with all of your 5 pieces of cardstock. Okay. So for each rosette, we're going to need to take some of these, and we're going to do some embossing. I love this wood grain embossing folder. I'm going to take a big purple eggplant, I should say, the smaller one. I'm going to take 1 in cherry cobbler and the 1 1/4 in cherry cobbler. These can be mixed up any way you want, but I'm going to run those through the Big Shot so we have some really great embossing to work with. All right, we're ready to put our rosette together. Now, since I'm working with the great big one, that's the only one I'm going to make for you. I'm going to take the 2 in eggplant. Again, this is just the color combination I chose. So I have 1 embossed and 1 not. And then I'm going to take my cherry cobbler that's been embossed. Those are the 3 I'm going to use for this rosette. On the smaller rosette, just so you know, we're going to use 2 of the eggplant, the 1 3/4 and the embossed and not embossed. And then that cherry cobbler will go right there. Okay, so really it's all the same process, but I just wanted you to see how we're going to put those together. I'm going to bring in my silicone mat and my hot glue gun. Now, if you guys know me, hot glue guns and I don't always get along. So we're going to hope everything comes out just right. The first one I'm going to work with is the unembossed scallop here. Now, little trick I want to share with you. I thought I had a Sharpie out here on my desk and I'm not seeing it at the moment. I like to Sharpie personally, but what I want to do is draw myself a black circle right there. Let me show you, before I do it, let me show you why. I'm going to cover that with hot glue. I'm going to bring this down. I really hope with the lights and all you can see that. But what I want to do is try to see that black circle inside that hole that's right there. That's going to ensure that I have that centered up. So just so you know, that's why we're going that direction. Okay. Are you ready? We got to move quickly. This is a hot glue gun and I have it on the high temp. That's what we want. I'm going to just squirt it on there. Keep that on my silicone mat just so it doesn't go flying. But I do want to keep this away from it. Actually, you know what? Real quick. Oh, if I can move very, very quickly. I'm going to get that out of the way because I just don't want to run the risk of getting any hot glue on my rosette here. All right, bringing it down. I can see my black circle in there, so I'm going to hold that. At this point, you do have a little time to kind of center and scooch all those out. Now, I have got a clear block. This is clear block E, I believe. Yes, I have it in a clear envelope. I did that for a reason. You can even see I've got some hot glue that has gotten on the envelope. Thus the reason for the envelope. I didn't want to get hot glue on my block, but what I'm doing is I'm using that as a weight. It's going to keep this flat. You know, gravity's really wanting to work against me, so that's what's going to help me there. I'm going to move that out of the way, and I'm now going to come in with the embossed scallop circle. And for this one, I'm just going to lay it on there. So I'm going to put my hot glue kind of here in the center. Bring that back over to my silicone mat. We're going to flip that over. Being very careful, guys. Please don't burn yourself. If you followed my blog, you know I have had some serious hot glue injuries. Again, with my block, that's just going to allow that until it cools, oh, maybe 10 seconds at the most. And while we're waiting on that, I'm now going to take my cherry cobbler embossed. I'm going to do the same thing with just, you notice I'm going a little bit flatter with the hot glue. I'm not going kind of quite as crazy there. And I'm going to line up the embossing, just making sure the wood grain is all going in the same direction. And we'll lay that back on there. Guys, I just finished the first one, but it needs a little something. So let me show you how to decorate it up. So let me show you the back. See, awfully pretty, isn't it? That's why we like that little center, because it allowed me to see right where that was going. All right, let's doll it up just a bit. All right, I just have a piece of our striped ribbon. This one is in crushed curry, which looks awfully great. I'm just going to put a dot of hot glue right there, not too much because I don't want it oozing out. I don't know if you just saw, I got a big old hot glue string. The trick with that, don't touch it. When it's cool, it's very easy to remove. When it's hot, one, you run the risk of burning yourself, and two, it just kind of, it's like pizza cheese. It just goes on forever. So it's best to just let it go. So at this point, I'm going to be honest, there are so many different ways you can decorate this up. In your tutorial, I'm going to have lots of close-up pictures of each of them. So you're welcome to use my ideas, get creative on your own. I'm going to be honest, if you guys have that drawer of scrap ribbon, this is a great time to get in it. Tie little bows, tie little knots, and just decorate that little rosette up any way you like. All right, it's time to cut out some leaves. I'm going to be using the Autumn Accents Bigs die. All those pieces that are 3.5 by 5 1/4, you're going to take all 5 of them. I've just got one here. The others are over on the other side of the room. Put all 5 of them together. All we want are these 2 great big leaves. And so we're going to put that between 2 sandwich plates, run it through. And if your Big Shot won't handle that, mine really does fine with all 5. If not, do 3 and 2, and you're just fine. But we're going to run all those through. We're going to have lots of fabulous leaves, and you can see I then ran those through the wood grain embossing folder too. Gave a really great texture for leaves. So I've got 2 of each leaf in every color, and guys, I think we're ready to put this puppy together. Let's go.